Have you ever been told that the best way to regain your power over someone who hurt you is to disappear, to stop calling, stop texting, stop showing up? The world calls it no contact. The Stoics would call it an illusion of control, because silence can be ignored, but transformation cannot. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy," and that's the truth we often forget. You don't win when the other person feels your absence. You win when they can no longer recognize the person who once needed their approval. So today, forget the idea of no contact. There is something that hurts far more than silence, and it is something the Stoics understood centuries ago. The pain of seeing you rise beyond the reach of those who once underestimated you. Stay until the end, because you'll discover how to turn heartbreak into strength, rejection into clarity, and pain into purpose. Take a deep breath. Let's begin. The myth of no contact. We live in a time when relationships have turned into strategy. Don't reply and they'll miss you. Act indifferent and they'll regret it. We treat silence like a weapon, as if ignoring someone could guarantee victory. But Epictetus warned, "It is not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that matters." Silence is not a response. It's a pause. It can make someone uncomfortable, yes, but over time they grow used to it. The human mind adapts to absence. People find excuses, stories, and rationalizations to make peace with your silence. They might even convince themselves that losing you was their choice. And here's the painful part. While you're holding on to that silence, hoping they'll miss you, they may be learning to forget you. So ask yourself, does your silence reflect growth or manipulation? Because if it's only meant to cause pain, it loses its power. True Stoicism teaches that control lies only in your own actions, not in how others interpret them. So if you want to reclaim your strength, don't focus on making them feel your absence. Focus on making your presence, even in silence, radiate peace. What hurts more than silence? What truly breaks someone is not that you stopped speaking to them. It's that while you stayed quiet, you changed. Seneca said, "It is not that life is too short, but that we waste much of it." Stoicism, while others waste time in regret, you can use silence to build something greater. Every moment you spend not chasing them can be turned into a moment of rebirth. You read, you train, you grow, you rebuild the person they once took for granted. The real pain doesn't come from your silence. It comes from the moment they no longer fit into the life they offered. Imagine their surprise when they realize you no longer react the way you used to, that your eyes shine with calm instead of need. That transformation is a mirror they can't stand to face because it shows them the truth they tried to ignore. They lost power over you, the mirror. They can't endure. Every relationship is a reflection. We see ourselves in others, and they see themselves in us. When someone mistreats you, they often expect that you'll remain small, dependent, reactive. But when you grow instead, when you respond with dignity, you hold up a mirror that exposes everything they tried to hide from themselves. Epictetus said, "When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval." Your transformation forces the other person to confront the reality that they once doubted your strength, and that confrontation burns deeper than any silence. Picture this. They left you thinking you would collapse without them. They imagined you waiting, scrolling through messages that never came. But instead you rose, you created, you found joy in places they never gave you permission to explore. That image of you shining where they left darkness is the mirror they cannot bear to see because it destroys the story they told themselves to justify walking away. And maybe deep down, you've been that person too, the one who underestimated someone only to be stunned by their growth. Now you understand the power of that reflection. It's not about revenge. It's about awakening, the pain of the irreversible. Silence can end. Growth cannot. And that's why transformation hurts more, because it creates something irreversible. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time is a river, a violent current of events glimpsed once and carried away." Once you change, you can never step into the same river twice, and they can never meet the same version of you again. The no contact rule gives the illusion that one day things might go back to how they were, but real healing makes that impossible. because when you finally value your peace, you realize that going back would be like stepping into a cage you've already outgrown. That's the pain the other person feels. Not that you're gone, but that they can no longer reach you. It's like reading a book they left unfinished, only to discover the ending no longer includes them. And that pain is not about nostalgia, it's about realization. The realization that they lost someone who evolved beyond their reach. That's the true sting of consequence, the silent justice of life. The Stoic path of transformation. The Stoics called this path self-mastery, the art of rising above your impulses and finding peace within. Seneca said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." And that's what your silence must become. Not a weapon, but a forge. Don't use your distance to punish others. Use it to refine yourself. Don't aim to make them suffer. Aim to make yourself whole. Because once you master that inner world, the outer world loses its hold on you. When you stop living for attention and start living for truth, you become untouchable. You stop reacting, you start choosing, you stop waiting, you start creating. And that evolution, that calm, centered presence is something no one can ignore. The person who once had the power to hurt you will eventually feel the weight of that loss, not because you disappeared, but because you returned as someone free. Free from the need to prove, to chase, to control, free to love without attachment, and to walk away without resentment. So the next time you're tempted to apply no contact just to cause pain, remember this. Silence can be forgotten. Transformation cannot. The Stoics didn't teach escape. They taught endurance, clarity, and mastery. They didn't say, disappear, so they'll miss you. They said, rise, so you'll never need to be missed. The real victory isn't when they regret losing you. The real victory is when you no longer need them to. And when that moment comes, when you look at your reflection and see peace instead of pain, you'll understand what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Now, I want to talk directly to you. Maybe you're still hurting. Maybe someone's silence has left you questioning your worth. Don't waste that pain trying to be noticed. Use it. Let it teach you discipline, patience, and self-respect. Pick up the book you've been postponing. Go on that walk you always delayed. Build a new version of your life, not to prove anything, but to become who you were always meant to be. Because the true power of no contact isn't in who misses you. It's in who you become while they're gone. And when they see you again, not broken, not bitter, but serene, that will hurt far more than your silence ever could. Because your transformation will speak louder than any words you could have said. If these words spoke to your heart, leave a comment below. Have you ever had someone come back into your life and find a completely different version of you, stronger, freer, calmer? Write it down. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs today. Type this phrase to remind yourself, my growth is my silent revenge. And if you want to keep learning from Stoic wisdom, from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, subscribe. Here you'll find a space to grow, to heal, and to protect your peace every single day. Because what hurts the most is not that you stopped speaking. It's that your transformation wrote a story where they're no longer needed.